A warm welcome to Diplomatic Channel. I'm Amarachi Ubani. News media has been flooded with information about Niger, a coup update, and ECOWAS resolution on the situation since the week began. Even some fake news has emanated from there as well. Here are a few things that are clear, though. ECOWAS sanctions on Niger remain, including the use of a standby force, which ECOWAS has activated. The Nigerian junta is unhappy about the sanctions, calling them inhumane to the people of Niger. And the people of Niger are solidly behind the military junta in its process of creating a new government, devoid of corruption, wastage, and most of the issues recognized in the government of Mohamed Bazoum. We'll do our best clearing up some of the assumptions with the Nigerian freelance journalist Alumaman Sani, who will be joining us from the Nigerian capital, Niamey. And that's Diplomatic Channel in a wrap. Let's take a quick check on other discussions on diplomatic circles. We'll be right back.
The Nigerian embassy in Niger has debunked what it calls fake videos making the rounds on social media, purportedly showing the torching of the Chancery building by protesters. It said in a statement that even though protesters tried to gain access to the embassy on July 30, 2023, the Nigerian military and police authorities promptly curtailed the situation. The statement says the embassy is being well guarded by the Nigerian military and other security authorities. In other news, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has announced the death of Nigeria's ambassador to France with concurrent accreditation to Monaco, Ambassador Kayode Laro, in Paris. Ambassador Laro died on Friday, August 11, following a protracted illness. The late ambassador was a career diplomat whose years in the Nigerian Foreign Service spanned 35 years, from December 1983 to December 2018. His appointment as Nigeria's ambassador to France in 2021, after his retirement from service, was in recognition of his immense contributions to Nigeria's foreign service. Taiwan's President William Lai is in the United States on a trip China has condemned, and Taiwanese officials fear could prompt more Chinese military activity around the democratically governed island. Speaking to reporters at Taiwan's main international airport, Mr. Lai made only fleeting mention of the U.S. part of his trip, simply noting that he was going to New York first. He said he would use the Paraguay visit not only to deepen ties with that country, but also to have self-confident exchanges with other countries and meet with delegations from like-minded partners. He did not say who. Taipei and Washington say such stopovers are routine and should be no cause for alarm for China. But Beijing has reacted with anger at what it sees as a further sign of U.S. support for Taiwan, which it claims as sovereign Chinese territory.
Now, ECOWAS has spoken. It will not be as lenient with the junta in Niger as it has been with Mali and Burkina Faso. All options, they say, remain on the table, and ECOWAS will deploy whatever means necessary to ensure the return of democratic rule in Niger. More importantly, the reinstatement of ousted President Mohamed Bazoum.
And to the progress.
ECOWAS extraordinary meeting held for a second time within 2 weeks, seeking solutions to the coup that happened in Niger.
Continue with that.
Chair, Nigerian President Bola Tinubu, said West African leaders should try all diplomatic routes to ensure a swift return to constitutional rule in the country, including dialogue with the coup leaders.
In reaffirming our relentless commitment to democracy, human rights, and the well-being of the people of Niger, it is crucial that we prioritize diplomatic negotiations and dialogue as the bedrock of our approach.
But ECOWAS reiterated its resolution on the country. President of the ECOWAS Commission, Omar Toure, said all options remained on the table, including the use of force. He also ordered the activation of ECOWAS standby force.
Call on the African Union to endorse all the decisions taken by the ECOWAS authority on the situation in Niger. Direct the Committee of the Chief of Defense Staff to activate the ECOWAS standby force with all its elements immediately. Order the deployment of the ECOWAS standby force to restore constitutional order in the Republic of Niger.
Director of Strategic Stabilization Advisors, Annalise Bernard, said the mobilization of a standby force for possible use against the military junta in Niger was causing an escalation of tensions in the region.
We are not sure if this ECOWAS standby force will actually be activated or if it will require more approvals from the African Union to do so, or what this will mean from other members of the regional bloc who may not be as willing to submit to the use of force to threaten this coup in the same way that other leaders, clearly the leading voices such as Cote d'Ivoire's President Ouattara, President Benin, President Talon, and obviously President Tinubu in Nigeria.
Donc pour le déploiement des troupes.
Ivorian President Alassane Ouattara on Thursday promised to supply a battalion of troops to the force following ECOWAS directive.
Et a pris toutes les dispositions financières.
Speaking in an address, he said this was an ECOWAS operation, not a Nigerian operation against Niger, or a Beninese operation against Niger because these two countries are Niger's neighbors. He also said it was not an Ivorian operation against Niger.
Donc la Côte d'Ivoire est prête et je viens de donner instruction au chef d'État.
But a determination to reinstate President Bazoum in his role as democratically elected president of the Republic of Niger.
Cette opération de la CEDEAO.
Meanwhile, Africans across the sub-region had mixed reactions to the activation of an ECOWAS standby force. Sheikh Niang, a resident in Dakar, Senegal, said he personally did not agree with sending troops to Niger. Fellow resident Lassana Diodu said he favored peace. And in Burkina Faso, Ouagadougou resident Issouf Ouedraogo said Burkina Faso's support in Niger made no sense to him because Burkina Faso does not have the same problem with Niger. He says Burkina was in a situation of degradation and acute insecurity. Niger resident Khadija Kassoum says the people are now in front and not the army. I want to bring in now freelance journalist Alou Maman Sani. He joins us from the capital, the Nigerian capital, Niamey. Alou, thank you for joining me on the program today.
Thank you so much for such opportunities again.
What is Niger Republic's reaction? Let's begin with that. The reaction to the reiteration of the imposition of sanctions by ECOWAS.
As you know, since the ECOWAS and the other international organizations decided to impose their sanctions against Nigerians regarding what happened after overthrowing the President Mohamed Bazoum administration, and still now people are so committed. People continuously criticize such decisions taken just in order to undermine, the people's living conditions and also our daily economic activities in the country. And these sanctions are among the key points, that push people to stand up and also to organize a kind of general demonstration in order, to warn and also to say no for the, international interference regarding what happened in the country. And I think today, when you will see in the different cities and in the different, regions, in Niger we have 8, regions in the country, and each day we have sit-in, you have demonstration while people are supporting, the military junta say no going back because such decision taken by the ECOWAS leaders, it is a draconian decision which means also only, to block Niger economic development. In this way, people are criticizing, people say no, and also today ECOWAS become like some things like an opposition party that people should fight just in order, to be free in their, administrative management, etc., etc.
Yeah, but what sort of impacts are the sanctions having on the people?
Yeah, exactly. The impact is that, firstly, still the statement, the media statement issued by the ECOWAS leaders. Firstly, Nigeria, there is a kind of contract, moral contract between Niger and the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Well, since 1916, Nigeria provided electricity to Niger. Well, Niger also, through what you call the Niger electricity company that we call Nigelec, also try to distribute, the electricity. And the first reaction, and also it is Nigeria who decided, the president of Nigeria who decided to cut, such electricity in Niger. And still now, Niger is, we are in a general blackout, no electricity, and just people are just wishing. We don't know exactly what is going, because all the economic activities, administrative in the office, if there is no electricity also, there is no, there is no activities. It can be, administrative, and also economic, financial, etc., etc. And this decision is the first thing that had a direct impact on the Nigerian living condition, and also, also the decision, they close all the borders. We have, when you take into account Nigeria, we have more than 1,000 kilometers we share along borders in Niger and Nigeria. While we have seven states of Federal Republic of Nigeria, which are on the Niger's, alongside Niger's and Nigeria's border. We have Kebbi State, we have Sokoto, we have Zamfara, we have Katsina State, we have Jigawa, you have Yobe, you have Borno, and we have a little of Adamawa. And you will see that all the Nigerians who are living in the areas, who are living alongside the borders, lives with Nigerians, with Nigerian style. And each time they are in Nigeria, they are on borders, just on their daily activities. And today, no going out, no going in. People are just suffering because the borders are closed. And all the Nigerians, most of the time, they are dependent to Nigerians, because each time they have to move to Nigeria to buy and to come back. And now there is no borders. That some people here call artificial borders, because according to them, it is not, it is natural like this. Some things that people desire like this, artificial borders. And this also another situation, because all those who are living, on the Nigeria's, along Nigeria's borders today are facing a serious, situation, because no food, and also no business, all things, all their activities are stranded because such a decision. And also we have a higher living cost in Niamey. Since the announcement of the decision taken by the ECOWAS leaders, the Niger economic stakeholders includes even the price of certain items like rice, like salt, like oil, like also maize, etc., etc. They improve, because on the recently before the coup, mostly we paid a bag of rice of 25 kilogram. You buy it at least $20 US dollars, $20. But now we have to pay 25, 26, 27, 28, sometimes 30, US dollars. That is the main issue, that people are suffering sincerely. Only, we are in Sahel. We know we have experienced so much suffering in the area, but to tell you that people are suffering still now. When you take my example, I grew up at the bank of the border, Niger and the Nigeria borders. I know my family still now, my family is living in the same area, at the border, because we use Naira, you use you use CFA. You can go Nigeria and buy also. And today everything, it is a kind of shutdown. All the activities are blocked because of such decision taken by the ECOWAS leaders.
When we come back after the break, Alu Maman Sani, the freelance journalist from Niger, will speak more on the conditions there and where exactly Mohamed Bazoum is, as well as what the junta plans to do in the days ahead. Stay with us. There are, news making the rounds that Niger is turning to Russia, to these Wagner forces, to help with fighting insecurity and also with helping to maintain its stand against France. Is it true?
Yes, it is what is going on. Yes, we will see the young children, the women's leaders, women who took the streets, just to say that we have to cut any, defense and the security cooperation and agreement of the Western country, because we have Russia, and you are welcome. And that's why you will see the Russian Federation flag flying anytime. And now we have many tailors now who are decided now, to sue, flag freely for the young people. At any demonstration, general demonstration, you will see the what we call the Russian Federation flag, flying, because according to them, Russia has the capacity to deal about what is going. They have the material, the technology, in order to control all the terrorist activities that are ongoing. That is most of the time people, decided to call, the Wagner to come in rescue in order to help our military, because they saw what is going on Mali, they saw what is going also in Burkina Faso, where they decided now to open a new path, of partnership with other international organizations and the country, which could help them, to come into the end of what is going, because the main issue in the Sahel today is the insecurity. It is the terrorists, the deadly terrorist activities, the activities under the asymmetric attacks. Because every day the traditional leaders are killed, the civilians are killed, people are taken in hostage for ransom. You have to pay. That's the bandits. There are many banditry, but like in Maradi here, we have the bandits come from Nigeria. Just they take someone, and also they ask you to give money in order to release him. That is going. We need a new pathway, they say, and also we need a new cooperation to deal about what is going, because insecurity is the main issue that our country has faced for a long time.
Why are Nigerians supporting the military, which was supposed to be preventing this insurgency in the north and protecting them from the insurgency? Why aren't they blaming the military for the rise of insurgents and the progress, in Niger? Why blame everybody else and blame the politicians in Niger? Why blame the government and not the military for not protecting the people?
Yeah, people today, people support this military because of certain reasons. Because, during the former administration, people think that even the military decided to go on the front to fight against. Sometimes you have maybe the minister of defense say, "Oh, you have to change the position. You have to come back." You have always some interference that contributed to block, the Nigerian military effort in fighting against terrorism. And now they saw that, now there is no civilian, it's not a civilian government, we have only the military. And we know the military knows even the reality, of the different areas, Niger's areas. And now we say that because recently she appointed the military junta, General Abdurrahman leader, General Abdurrahman Chani, appointed recently in the 8 regions the higher ranking military officers. Okay, all you have the generals, you have also colonel, who have the capacity and also the knowledge, the intelligence to know exactly what is going in the different area. And on the former government, we have only the civilian governments, the civilians, and they don't have exactly the knowledge of the security issue, because sometimes we have to bring them some report and they can't even understand sincerely, the content about the security report. And now we have the military, on the who lead the country, and we think that these military officers, we think that they have the capacity, that people now decided to support them, say, okay, we are in solidarity with you. Now we have to continue in order just to destroy all the terrorist base that are around the country. Even the only issue that I would like to mention here, Niger, since the day they overthrew the Mohamed Bazoum administration, sincerely in Niger there is no terrorist bases. Okay, there is no terrorist bases. All those who organize the asymmetric come from sometimes in the north of Mali and Burkina Faso, and sometimes in the northern Nigeria. Okay, and the northern Nigeria we have just the bandits who just attack and they come back in Niger also to organize a kind of attack. That is the issue. Now we have only the military in the different regions, in the Niger 8 region, who are appointed as governors, and now they have to listen to the people and to deal about the main issue, security issue that is going in the different area, in Tilaberi, in Tawa, in Maradi, and Difa with the Boko Haram insurgents.
Finally, Alu, where is President Mohamed Bazoum?
Yeah, President Mohamed Bazoum still now is under house arrest, at the presidential house, State House. Still now he is in captivity under the control of the military junta. He is, according to even yesterday, to a report that he is now enjoying his time. She is not free. She is under control of all these military, junta, who decided now to arrest him at the presidential house because of certain reasons.
Just to follow up to that, there were reports that he was not feeling well. He's not feeling well. Neither is his son, his family. How are they doing?
Yeah, according to even yesterday, I'm telling you, even yesterday, his medical doctor paid him, a visit just to know more about him, and even they discuss, and also he also see how is his living conditions, and also how he is living in his room at the presidential house. But according to emerging from this close meeting with the presidential with the ousted President Bazoum Mohamed, he said that the president is morally fit but psychologically disturbed.
We'll leave it at that. Thank you so much, Alu Maman Sani. I appreciate your time with me on Diplomatic Channel.
You are welcome. Thank you so much, and God bless you also. I'm free for you, available anytime. We can exchange also. Thank you. Bye.
We've come to the end of the program this week. I appreciate you're staying with us till this time, and I hope you'll join us again next time. Until then, you can watch this episode and others you may have missed on youtube.com/channelsweb. Look through the playlist for Diplomatic Channel, then select the episodes you want to watch. I'm Amarachi Ubani. I'll see you next time.